I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to. Don't make me be the bad guy. They're forcing me to do this. I really am being forced to do this. But every one of you, we talked about the downfall of the Associated Press, MSNBC, CNN, corporate media. But these people who are the quote unquote experts, the pundits, the wise people, the intelligent people, the smart people, they don't have what it takes. They never have and they never will. And unfortunately, we have all these big brain jag-off people who are still triggered by Trump winning on November 5th. Okay, he's the president. It's over. But yet you have all these people in the establishment media so triggered and emotionally unhinged. And it's going to be a while before I start covering, like, again, because I'm going to wait. If the world doesn't go on fire, I'm going to cover like the liberal meltdowns on when Trump is inaugurated into office, okay, on TikTok, okay? I really don't want to cover people seriously suffering mental illness, but I mean, it is a perfect case study to explain the mindset of so many people who are in the vote blue no matter whose sphere or have Trump derangement syndrome, because the people who are causing it are the jagoffs in corporate media. Most notably, we'll start off with our fantastic friends in The View. Barbara Walters, your spirit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry what they done. Like now I know how Vito Corleone felt when he saw Sonny's body. Look, Barbara Walters like, look what they've done to my boy. I'm Barbara Walters. So why did Trump win 2 weeks after the election? Take it away, ladies.
I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. I think that we don't want to think that about.
Okay, first of all, again, I don't want to say anything that's going to trigger people, but, to the vote blue no matter who people, you do realize that there were black voters, Asian voters, Latino voters who voted for Trump, okay? Like, Trump had a lot of support from traditional Democrat voting blocks, okay? Because people got tired of the Democrats. I mean, you just can't just say racism, misogyny when, Trump had a lot of diversity. And I also want to acknowledge something else. Torwin said, as bad as the meltdowns are, I feel like 2016 was even worse in a lot of ways. No, I'm going to challenge you on this one. I think it's going to get progressively worse. I think 2024 and going into 2025 is going to make 2016 look like a walk in the park, man. All right. That's just my opinion. If I'm wrong about that, hey, but I think it's going to get far, far worse.
About ourselves, our neighbors, our friends. But it's my lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists. And, the facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris.
You know what it is? Everybody give it up for your favorite political commissar. Political police, Commissariat Hans and my deputy Fritz. We have lined up the people who voted for Kamala, and we've lined up the people who voted for Trump. Fritz, give them their papers. Hello.
It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that is not true. This is by education. Those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
But
I've said that. Let me just finish. And so I've said that before, and there was so much backlash because I think it's an uncomfortable, inconvenient truth about this country.
But his whole point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family.
Well,
and whether we agree or not with Donald Trump's plans,
Black people
they thought that he was reflective.
One of the poorest demographics in this country.
I'm going to tell you why, because especially in Chicago, a lot of black voters for generations have dealt with the Democratic machine. Now, I'm only focusing here on Chicago. 22% of the population who voted in Chicago voted for Trump. Now, again, the voter turnout was not high, but even then, for the population that did vote, 22% is a huge effing deal. I cannot stress that out enough. Listen. I hope I'm not wrong on this, and I really am kind of putting my eggs in this basket, but I think the 2027 Chicago municipal elections will be very interesting. I think it's going to be a massive pushback against the Democratic machine, and maybe we'll see people stepping up and getting angry at the traditional Democratic politics that has been running Chicago to the ground. And before any conservative or Trump says, "Oh, well, you voted for it," no. Voter turnout for Chicago has been abysmal because the people have given up. This could be the spark after the aftermath of what happened on November 5th. Could be the spark to maybe get people to maybe say, I don't know, they tired of the system. And there's a lot of communities in Chicago, Black, Latino, white, Asian, who are just tired of the Democratic machine because they've been lied to and abused by the neoliberal policies. And speaks about on a national level why Trump got reelected into office.
But they voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
The stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say.
The stats are the stats. You will follow orders and eat the bugs.
I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not, let me just that. What stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect.
Yes, you can. Wait,
hold on.
Yes, I know. The view. But now, hold on. Even our friends at BSDNC seem to be having meltdowns too. There will be no joy for Joy. I know, just already looking at her, she's already angry at us. Folks, the meltdowns, the crying, the panicking is continuous and ongoing.
Cue the people who just 2 weeks ago were screaming, "Let's go, Brandon," and cheering as J.D. Vance called Vice President Harris the trash he was going to take out. Now yelling, "Why can't we all come together?" Really? I seem to recall that when your guy lost the last election, you didn't come together.
Oh God, they're keeping on bringing up January 6th. Why? It's like like that. It's like a toxic relationship where the one person who's very toxic keeps on bringing the same argument over and over and over and over and over. Hold on, I'm having flashbacks now. Over and over again. My God.
Your people stormed the Capitol, smashed in windows and rioted, beat up and nearly killed police officers, and menaced poll workers all over the country. MAGA people issued so many death threats to Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss, they had to leave their home in Georgia. But it didn't stop there. Those who spoke out against Donald Trump's attempts to overturn the election got death threats too, and they were all Republicans. And now that your guy won, suddenly y'all want to come together? Would that be before or after we get over your body, my choice? Look, clearly, Brandon wants to come together. Here he is, kikiing with the guy he was just recently saying was destroying the soul of America. It's a remarkable scene. When Biden beat Donald Trump in 2020, Trump refused to attend his swearing in. But Biden will surely be right there at Trump's. You know, I guess the whole peaceful transition of power thing only works for Republicans when the power is being peacefully transferred to them. And it's not like Donald Trump has changed. His entire campaign was centered on anything but coming together, but rather around insults, threats, weird swaying, and Hitler quotes. So please educate me.
Wait. Again, see, I'm really tired of the word fascism being used by the vote blue no matter who sphere. And I'm really tired of even the word communism being used by the Trump sphere as well. Because again, these words have meanings and you're turning them into slurs like everybody I don't like is a communist. Everybody I don't like is a fascist. Oh, buggy. Listen, Kamala Harris has nothing in common with communism. Okay? I cannot stress that out enough. And Trump has nothing in common with a little old German guy from the Third Reich. Okay? Big difference between the two, but yet they keep on using it. And we wonder why there's so many meltdowns on TikTok. It's because of these idiotic statements we're seeing from BSDNC and corporate media as a whole.
Me. What would you like us to come together around? You all are the ones claiming that this lady the sitting vice president of the United States would have been a DEI hire as president, despite having been a duly elected prosecutor, attorney general of the largest state in the union, a United States senator, and the VP.
But it's unearned because there was no open primary and voters didn't really have a chance to really vote for anybody in the primary because the Democrats thought that Biden had it in the bag until he had a senile meltdown against Donald Trump. I mean, for Christ's sakes, even Trump was looking at the camera, looking at the moderators, looking at the people. And there's probably one point where you could pause and be like, hey, I'm Donald Trump. Yeah, you're probably wondering how I got here. Can they believe they put this old man up?
While you claim this guy is more qualified than she is because he's a man and he played a successful real estate tycoon on a popular TV show? Seriously?
He used to donate money to Democrats. He was a Democrat. Good best friends with Bill and Hillary Clinton. He gave those people money and they did what he said. He was a Democrat. Democrat, okay? Debate me, vote blue. Yes, Trumpers, your boy used to be a Democrat, okay? All this stuff. This man used to be a Democrat.
We meant to come together around his running mate, whose only job prior to 18 months as a senator was working for Peter Thiel, but apparently is not a DEI vice president for some reason that I cannot fathom. A guy who has not once taken back his insults against half the women in this country. We're coming together on sliming women as childless cat ladies now? Really? The 4-star general is a DEI hire to you, scared to get on a plane with a black pilot types. But this guy is qualified to be Secretary of Defense because he was a National Guard captain and co-hosts a popular weekend TV show on Fox.
Oh, man. If I ever become a grandfather, if it ever happens, right? I swear, my grandkids are gonna have a lot of questions like, Grandpa, what was it like when you were growing up? And I'll be like, it was a strange time, little Billy. It was a strange time indeed. There once was a time there was a thing called payphones. You used to put a quarter in and call somebody. Grandma, Ma, Grandpa Kit's off his meds again, and the internet used to make a sound like this. Beep.
I wonder what makes him not DEI. I'll keep noodling on it. I'm sure it'll come to me. And Trump is hiring a bunch of these underqualified people for really important jobs in his next administration, demanding that we all affirm them as perfectly serious candidates so we can all, come together.
I don't know. It looks like a diverse crowd. Let me just pull this up here. I don't know. It looks pretty diverse. I don't know. It seems all right. I mean, Trump picking people. Some of them are yes men. Some of them people helped him out. I mean, it is what it is. Oh my God. They even have the Department of Government Efficiency. Jeez. Oh man. I can't wait to read the history books about this time.
Serious candidates so we can all, come together. It is a common feature of authoritarianism and fascism that the nation is called to come together under the autocrat and accept that his incompetent lackeys are our betters. The idea that any random white guy or right-thinking woman with zero background is inherently superior to any black person or woman, no matter how many degrees or qualifications they have, is a conceit of fascism and ethno-nationalism that no, we cannot come together around.
Okay, now, first of all, I know that everyone, especially in 2020, the Democrats were telling Trumpers to get over it. And Biden put in a lot of people who are not competent in his administration. Okay, Biden put in a lot of people who had no business being in certain positions of power. We have Democrat lawmakers that never followed through with their promises after the 2020 election cycle. So, it's the pot calling the kettle black here.
We cannot come together around mass deporting millions of immigrants and potentially separating families or throwing them into internment camps. We can't come together around kicking women or gay, bi, or trans people out of the military just because Macho Man weekend TV guys said so. Or around the idea of banning abortion and IVF nationwide and watching more women die from sepsis. Or
now again, the Democrats could have done something to codify Roe v. Wade. Because Roe v. Wade died under Biden. You pink pussy-hat people said you'd be protesting the protest whole fest a mile long every day, all the time. Where are you? Where were you? And I better not see you guys protesting now, because you guys need that energy before then to maybe use your political influence and power to convince Democrats to codify it. What did Nancy Pelosi do, huh? What did AOC do? They didn't do anything for you because they don't like you. You goof troops.
More teenagers giving birth to rape babies. We can't come together around Matt Gaetz, who was accused of trafficking a teenage girl.
What about Democrat lawmakers who've done some horrible things? I'll start with the first one. First name Bill, last name Clinton. He was a friend with a guy named Jeffrey E. Kind of look into that. Hello? What about P. Diddy and his association with Hollywood and Democrat lawmakers? Hello? Is that going to be looked into? Yeah, probably not.
Something he denies. Being the top law enforcement official in the land and getting to see all the evidence against him, including the identities of his accusers, with the freedom to persecute them and prosecute anyone else that Donald Trump tells him to. We cannot come together around banning accurate Black history or renaming military bases after Confederate generals. We cannot come together around ignoring the women who accused Trump of sexually harassing or abusing them.
That's fine. You know what? Fine. Due process. These women come forward to make these accusations. Fine. Due process. Okay. Will the same thing be done for Democrat politicians? Like, I don't know, a guy named Joe Biden? Same accusations thrown at him? What about that guy, Governor Cuomo? Him? No, yes, no, maybe. Hey, me too. Time's up. Where were you for Tara Reid? Hello? Whatever happened to Me Too Time's Up? Oh, that's right. Their time is up. And they Me Too themselves out of existence. And that's what happened. Don't debate me on it, because it's what happened. All it became was just another quick cash grab. Cash grab. I also want to pull up this super chat here as well. I want to acknowledge this here. Shout out to Back from the Road at $4.99. They are mad about Gates. Not a peep about Tara Reid still. Nope. Back from the Road, they will not mention Tara Reid. Not once, not ever.
Them. We cannot come together around Elon Musk, who runs an app infused with racism and
You know what? There's a lot of problems wrong with X, okay? There's a lot of things wrong with a lot of these social media platforms. Some of them are great, some of them not so good. Sometimes it's maybe good, sometimes it's maybe bad. No such thing as perfect. It doesn't exist. We're still using X. We're still on all these other platforms. You want to know why? Because sometimes I see the glimmer of hope of humanity, the good of social media and the internet. I know sometimes there's good things on the internet, good news. But all this thing about, oh, X is filled with racism. Listen, I checked out Blue Sky. It's like if Tumblr and Twitter of 2017 and all of 2016, the meltdowns and the outrages all fused together to become this weird blob of self-righteousness and smugness. I'm just going to speak for myself, but I'd rather hang out on X than go to Blue Sky. All right? Seems like a blue pile of crap.
Misogyny, and who gained that app to sway an election and now essentially co-owns a president alongside Vladimir Putin.
Oh, great. So now Elon Musk is now friends with Putin and he owns Trump. You know what? I'm not bringing the character out of retirement. I'm not bringing the panicking liberal meltdown. I'm going to bring him out in January, okay? I can't. My heart is not in the game. My heart's not in the game to bring out the liberal meltdown, okay? If you saw it live or in one of the clip videos, fine. Use that as a point of reference. I'm not bringing this down to give it. Now Elon and Putin own Trump. Hey, man, it's my turn to play with Trump. Yet it is my turn. Don't kill me, Putin, okay? Listen, I know right now the war is going to happen, or maybe it doesn't happen, whatever. Just, you know, can you imagine Elon and Trump and Putin fighting over Trump? Yet Elon Musk, I shall play with Trump.
We cannot come together around the United States becoming the junior partner to Russia and the handmaid to letting Bibi Netanyahu and his right-wing religious fanatics destroy what's left of the Palestinian people.
Oh, how convenient. Now you want to talk about it. Ah! How convenient indeed. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm just constantly disappointed in how much the media just continues to disappoint.
Joe Biden is perfectly free to come together with Trump and the people who literally 3 days ago were calling him every name in the book because he's the president and therefore immune from prosecution by our soon-to-be autocrat under John Roberts' rules for American kings. So he has the privilege of coming together with the guy who quoted Hitler on his way back to the White House. Some of us do not have the privilege to come together around that.
These next 4 years are going to be a big uphill fight. And Dr. Nick says, you don't hate state media enough. Listen, Dr. Nick, I only could hate something so much till it deforms me. But yes, I hate it, Dr. Nick. Shout out to my Kick audience. Keep on being my elite Praetorian Guard. For without you, my Kick audience, I don't think I'd survive. But it gets better. It gets better. The liberal meltdown continues. Brace yourself, my lovelies.
So this is for the people who are laughing at liberals right now, who think it is hilarious to see us devastated by the results of this election. I just want you to understand that the pain that you're seeing isn't about our candidate or our party losing. It's about America losing. It's about us losing our freedoms, our rule of law, our place in the world order.
We're not going to lose anything. All right, the American people already lost their government. We don't have nothing. Nothing. Like, come on. All right? Like, our politicians are already bought. Okay? Our politicians have gold-plated health care, earn a six-figure salary, have a connection with lobby groups and other corporate entities. So, boom.
Losing the moral high ground of a good and decent nation. We are upset because we know that the foundational pillars of American society, the ones we all count on.
Furious Gustafan says, we're laughing with you. We're just waiting on you to get the joke. Yes, look, liberals, come on, laugh, okay? Some of these meltdowns on TikTok, they're really hard to watch. And you have some brainlets telling women to divorce their husbands. Listen, I'm just going to say something here. Courts cost MONEY.
Like liberty and justice and truth.
Why are you divorcing your husband? He voted for Trump. Oh, well, what else did he do? That's it. He just voted for Trump.
Are all going to be gone under this next administration. And it's possible we never get them back. And just to be clear, that's not just going to hurt us. It's going to hurt you. So when you're done being excited about owning the libs, there's going to come a time where you realize that voting for a criminal, surrounded by criminals, supported by self-serving oligarchs and calculated foreign adversaries was a bad idea. And as they dismantle our government and our healthcare and our social safety nets.
Oh, healthcare. Hey, did you know we got healthcare in this country? The type 1 for, yes, kid, we do. Type 2, whoa, I didn't get the memo. I wonder how many 2s will be in the chat. I wonder. BW says she's making me laugh harder. And by the way, I also want to say something else here too. Something else just for me. There will never, ever be a day where I won't be laughing at the libs, okay? Okay. Just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there indeed. And hold on. So, real quick, let's keep playing this.
As our national security and food sources are compromised, as our environment and justice system are abandoned, you're going to understand it wasn't just us woke losers who lost. It was you and your people and your friends and your children. So maybe just consider giving us just a tiny bit of grace as we come to terms with the horrible world you chose for us, and we try to find a way to help the people who are going to suffer most and figure out a way to fight back. And you're going to want that for us. Because I know a fair amount of you are going to eventually come over to our way of thinking, because the incompetence and the corruption and the suffering are going to be so evident, you won't be able to miss it. But we have to make sure that by then it's not too late and we can still work together to do something about this. So just understand that we're sad right now because we know we were telling you the truth.
No, you're sad right now because your self-righteousness smacked you in the mouth.
And we are just so heartbroken that you preferred the lies.
Oh, guys, they're heartbroken that you just prefer the lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. But see, it's funny. It's funny that these meltdowns are still continuous and happening. That many of these quote unquote authoritative sources, these people within the media, such as The View or MSNBC or CNN or any of the other corporate media outlets, are now just saying, "Oh, we're just so angry. We're so angry." Well, of course you're angry because you got called on your BS because all of you were saying that Biden and then eventually Kamala had this in the bag. And yet, through your own incompetence, you have also triggered a lot of unhinged people into believing that this is the end of the world as we know it. This is not how a functioning society should act or react. This is not how a functioning society should operate, and nor should our media. And people wonder why corporate media is going belly up or why there's a lack of trust in our political system. Listen, corporate media and all the vote blue no matter who people. Yes, we are laughing at you. A lot of us are laughing at you because you made it so funny and you made yourselves look so stupid and the way you presented yourself so idiotic that we have to laugh at you. But we do hope that you wake up and realize out of your smugness that you were wrong, that there's a bigger fight ahead, and that is dismantling the two-party system, getting money out of politics. And you just cannot rely on people like the Obamas or Clintons or Bidens or Kamalas or anyone else to save you. You rely too much on the system to tell you to shut up and follow orders. All of you went to brunch. And by feasting on brunch during the last 4 years, you got tired, lazy, and incompetent and weak. If we want to fight for a better future, you're going to have to step up. Otherwise, we're going to keep on laughing at you as you're throwing a tantrum on the floor. And I'm just going to use my favorite Logan Roy quote. I love you, but you are not serious people.